Hello, today I'm going to be learning another Grateful Dead song called Uncle John's Band. And there's a whole backstory to this. So I am now playing keys. This is me over here in pink. I'm playing keys and singing the Donna harmony vocals in a Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area Grateful Dead tribute band called One Man Gone. Okay, well, they're letting me sing lead on Sugary, but yes. So I have a few songs I sing lead on, but I mainly sing harmony vocals and like Jack Straw. Okay, but there's a whole backstory here. I had never heard a single Grateful Dead song until May of 2025. Okay, and so I started playing with them in the end of September. And the whole story goes that I started discovering the Grateful Dead on my reaction channel, and then I met Deadheads, and then I interviewed them, and then I was like, wow, this is interesting. I want to know more. Then I went to the Dead and Company GD60 event in San Francisco. So I had to learn a bunch of the songs anyway, because I wanted to know what was going on. Anyway, so then I have a whole series on my YouTube channel of where I sight read Grateful Dead songs and then learn them without hearing them. Then I listen to them and see what I went wrong. So this time, I, for the first time, have the sheet music scanned that I got out of this book called Grateful Dead, The Definitive Collection. And this book was gifted to me by one of my fans, which was so nice. I do have a P.O. box and I do have an Amazon wish list. So therefore, if you want to buy me anything off Amazon, I can just add it to my Amazon wish list and you can send it to me. And it's all like gift registry style. So anyway, so this I scanned out of here. And not only did I have to do this, like learn the songs, but then I have a whole nother series where I went through songs, like for example, these are the songs the band sings. And for Jack Straw, for example, I went through and had to scan, I like basically had to transcribe all the chords for how I'm going to play them on the piano. And then I bolded the parts that I sing the harmony on versus like when it's the solo parts, like I just jumped the watchman. I don't sing that part. Okay. So I had to go through every single song and do that. So what I'm going to do today is mainly focus on learning Uncle John's Band. The whole reason it's coming up in the first place is that this is a song that the band has learned before prior to me playing with them, but they felt like vocally they couldn't do it justice. But because I'm a trained singer, I actually have a degree in opera singing and musical theater, and I teach voice for a living. They're like, oh, now we can actually sing this. So you should be able to hear this, and I think you can. Let me make sure this isn't muted. Okay, good. Now you can hear my piano. Wonderful. So sometimes I like to hear the chord progression. It's a simple chord progression. In G major, this is just a 1, 5, 4, 5 chord progression. So that's very simple. So now I have to learn the melody. As I see here, there's a ton of harmonies in here. It's already embedded into the vocal line. I can tell that. So the big thick notes are going to be the ones that are the main melody. And I'm going to read this down. I don't know. I'm going to have to jump between octaves because as you can see, if this would be up here for me, that's very high. So I'm going to sing it here. Well, the first days are the hardest friend. Oh, days. Okay. Well, the first days are the hardest days. Don't you worry anymore. That's a very jumping all around melody. Whereas I see there's a harmony. It's going to be like, I'll probably like this one. First days are the hardest days. Days don't you worry anymore. That's probably the harmony, but. So first one and days are the hardest days. Don't you worry anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the first days are the hardest days. Don't you worry anymore. Okay. 'Cause when life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Okay. An A minor. I love an A minor pre-chorus or whatever. Think this through with me. Let me know your mind. Whoa, whoa, what I want to know is, are you kind? I like that part a lot, and that's in a good range for me. Then it repeats to a second verse. Let's see how I can do. Will the bark dancers the choice, my friend, better worry my advice. And then you know all the rules by now. There's the fire from the eyes. Will you come with me? Won't you come with me? Whoa, what I want to know. Will you come with me? Something like that. Okay, now are these all harmony vocals that we all have to learn? Because that's gonna be tricky for some of the people in the band. Okay, I guess I'll learn the top line because usually that's a melody, but it could be the harmony. So the bottom one, let's do the bottom one. God damn well no, I don't want to do that. I want to go down. Declare, have you seen the like? Have you seen the like? Their walls are built of cannonballs. Their motto is, don't tread on me. Come here, Uncle John's band, playing to the tide. Come with me, G or go alone. He's come to take his children home. It's a really long and complicated song. Octave jump. It's the same story the crow told me. It's the only one he knows. 3/4 measure. Like the morning sun you come, and like the wind you go. Ain't no time to hide. Barely time to wait. Whoa, whoa, what I want to know. Where does the time go? And there's another section. Ooh, okay. Come here, Uncle John's band, playing Riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. The rising tide. Then it repeats back to, come here, Uncle John's band, playing to the tide. Come on along or go alone. He's come to take his children home. Then there's a D minor part. be sus too. That's a cool harmony. Whoa, what I want to know. Whoa, what I want to know. How does... That's interesting. How does the song go? I'm gonna have to listen to the song. It's gonna be so interesting. Come here, Uncle John's band. By the riverside, got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. Come here, Uncle John's band, playing to the tide. Come on along or go alone. He's come to take his children home. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Wow, that's like a really kind of like a spiritual or something. Like, I have to hear how this is gonna sound, because right now I'm like, what is going on? There's so much going on here. Let me see if I can. Now we're gonna play it and I'm gonna be like, okay, I just did it completely wrong, which is what I like to do because I rather would just kind of figure it out. Look, learning by ear is easier in a way, but I also like to know what is going on. Okay, let's see. Uncle John's band. And then it's like, well, what version did you play? Oh, it's from the album. Let's listen to the album version.
Well, the first days are the hardest days, don't you worry anymore. 'Cause when life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Think this through with me. Let me know your mind. Whoa, what I want to know is, are you kind?
Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of help on the harmony vocals. I'm gonna have to write tracks for
It's
this.
a buck dancer's choice, my friends. Better take
My advice.
You know all the rules by now, and the fire from the ice. Will you come with me?
Won't you come with me? Whoa, oh, what I want to know is you come with me. Turn to the harmony now.
Goddamn, will I declare?
Have you seen the light? Their walls are built of cannonballs. Their motto is "Don't drag on me." Come here, Uncle John's band, playing to the dark. Come here or go alone. He's come to take the children home.
It's the same story that told me. It's
The only one he knows.
Like
The morning sun you come, and like the wind you go.
Ain't
No time to hate, barely time to wait. Whoa, oh, what I want to know, where does the time go?
I live in a silver mine and I call it Baker's Tomb. I got me a violin and I beg you hold the tune.
Anybody's choice, I can hear your voice. Whoa, oh, what I want to know.
How does the song go? Come hear Uncle John's band by the riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. Come hear Uncle John's band playing to the tide. Come along, go along, he's come to take his children home. Oh, what I want to know, how does the song go? Come hear Uncle John's band by the riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. Come hear Uncle John's band playing to the tide. Come along and go along, he's come to take his children home.
What I like about the studio recording is there's not really keyboard in it. It's acoustic, which means I won't have to play. Well, I won't have to focus that much on the keyboard. Though, of course, you're going to be like, listen to the live version from Dick's Picks, blah, 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 blah. And then it's going to be like some crazy keyboard solo or something. But I'm just saying, I totally get why the band is like, oh, we couldn't do it justice unless we have Erica singing with us, because there's 3-part harmonies on this. The band was struggling with 2-part harmonies before I joined. So, you know, we can definitely pull off the 2-part harmonies. And then if I make tracks, maybe for the other singers, maybe they can get the 3rd parts when it matters. Most of it's 2-part harmony. Like, it's actually written in here, right? But notice how in this vocal line, they literally write 3 parts right here, right? Right? So one line's like, God damn well, I don't know. Middle line, God damn well, I don't know. Bottom line, God damn well, I don't know. Right? Have you seen the like? That's my favorite line to do. It's the high harmony, which is probably what I'm going to sing because I have the highest voice. Have you seen the like? By the way, I totally have just been overwhelmed since I started this video, and I forgot to mention a very sad news that we all found out yesterday. I'm recording this on November 4th, but we found out on November 3rd that late on November 2nd, Donna Jean passed away from cancer after a really long fight. So that was a very sad day, but that was also an emotional day because I was thinking like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? Because sorry, I dropped my pencil, but I'm supposed to sing her part in a lot of these songs, and it's a little bit overwhelming because I'm like, oh my God, I have to like step into this like shoes of, it's kind of like I can imagine someone who's like stepping into Jerry's shoes, like it being like super stressful. Like think about even just like, you know, the whole John Mayer thing, right? Like for John Mayer to play with like Dead and Company with some of the original Grateful Dead members, right? And it's like, oh my God, he's not Jerry, blah, blah, blah. And it was like this big thing of him like doing it his own way. And then like now all the Dead and Company fans at least are like very fond of, most of them are fond of John Mayer, and like they're accepting that he's different than Jerry, right? But I feel like, because just last week was the 1-year anniversary of Phil Lesh's death. And here's the crazy thing, and I thought about this and I haven't really talked about it much, but I remember when Phil Lesh died. It was 2024, it was the fall, and I was like reading the articles, it was in the news, you know, and I'm like, wow, who's Phil Lesh? Like, what's the big deal? Why is everyone posting about this? Because at the time, I didn't know about the Grateful Dead yet. I like knew of the name and I knew what I saw about Dancing Bears before. I didn't know anything about the Grateful Dead. So I also, when Phil died, I remember his anniversary came last week and I was like, oh my God, I came onto this at the very end. Like I'm catching the very last of the original members. Like the fact that I went to the Dead and Company thing, I know some people were like, oh my God, that's not the Dead. They're just trying to make money. You know, the people that criticize Bob and um, it's Billy, right? The drummer, Bob and Mikey Hart. Okay, people criticizing the Dead and Company original members who are like just doing it as a money grab or whatever. And I was like, I don't care what they're doing it for. I want to see them before they die because a lot of people have already died and this is it. Like, this is it, right? The last people performing. And so now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, had this whole journey not happened, I would have never seen them because they're older now too. And so even when like Donna died, and she wasn't obviously performing with them, but the fact that there's barely any original living members left now, right? And had I not gotten on the bus this year, I wouldn't have had that experience. And so the fact that I was starting to learn the music while Donna was still alive means a lot to me because I feel like I'm continuing in the legacy. I'm not, I think it'd be harder if I had to play Jerry's part, for example, and I just discovered Jerry last year. I'd be like, oh my God, he died like in 1995. How am I supposed to pick up the pieces now? Um, but it's just all of us people in tribute bands around the world who are going to be singing this music and who are maybe adding in the female harmony that Donna was best known for. I think there's a lot to be thankful for, to just like take a moment to acknowledge what she did and the fact that she has a bad reputation by some people. They think she wails or whatever. And I've faced the same kind of, let's just call it bias. I've faced bias when I've covered Dead songs because I have a higher voice or I'll sing them in the female octave. And a lot of Deadheads would get mad. They'd get really angry, like let Jerry do the singing, or like don't turn this into a show tune, or don't make this opera. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, that's just how my voice sounds. And then when I started to learn the music and realizing that the keys are not very easy for the average soprano or even mezzo soprano voice, there's very few women who are actually contraltos. A contralto would be more like a tenor vocal range. Not many women have that vocal range. So most of the songs in the Dead are written in a tenor range. And it's very in between ranges. Like a soprano can sing baritone an octave up, if that makes sense. So it's like very it's a little bit off, right? And so then when you look back and think about the times where Donna appeared wailing, apparently the reasons for it are, one, they didn't have monitors back then. They didn't have monitors. They were singing in front of a wall of sound. They didn't have good stage monitors even. They couldn't hear the other people. They couldn't hear what was going on. She's like dealing with that. She can't hear the other singers. She can't hear her own voice to see how it's sounding in the mic. So it's not really her fault. She was actually a very good singer and professional. So I just want to do that. But most of the Deadheads that I met were very pro Donna, and now I'm really getting it because I'm seeing in a lot of music that she was featured on. Like when she sang the solo and the music never stopped, stunning. And I'm going to get to sing that solo. That's one of the songs the band's adding when I'm performing with them. So the fact that now we can do this Uncle John's Band, it's a beautiful song. I mean, it sounds like a folk tune. Like it sounds like a kind of a spiritual, like a folk tune spiritual almost, like really, like something out of America. I can't explain it, but like it just sounds like a very folky, happy, spiritually kind of song. And again, it's a Hunter Garcia, so it's just going to be stunning. But this is the first song I've seen in the book also that had such definitive vocal harmonies written in, because usually the vocal lines are just one melody, like it's just one note. This has had throughout this entire sheet music like a 2 to 3 vocal things for almost most of it. So that just tells me that the harmonies are so important to this. Obviously, I'm going to have to investigate more of the live recordings to really like piece this apart. And then I'm going to have to figure out with the band what version they base themselves on, because usually they'll, a certain version is where the guitarists are kind of drawing their solos from and how much solo to take and how much musical break and all that. So I'm going to definitely study that version much more in depth to kind of build my chord sheet out, because I'm going to have to take the lyrics. I don't read off of sheet music for the shows. I read off of stuff like this. So I make these. And then that's just the chord, like, we can share the women, we can share the wine. And I'm just thinking about my harmonies, you know? We can share what we got of yours, 'cause we done shared all of mine. Right? So I have to turn this into that by the time I perform it, and map out when I'm singing the harmony or I'm singing the lead. Based on what I'm seeing here, I'm going to always want to sing the high harmony just for my range. Because when I first was doing the, well, the first days are the hardest days. Remember how low that was for me? It'd be so much easier for me to, well, this one. I like this one. First days are the hardest days. You don't you worry anymore. You know? First days are the hardest days. Don't you worry anymore. That's gonna be so much better for me to sing. See, I was like in my range. I can sing it very like folky. I don't have to sing it in some sort of like produced musical theater or opera tone, because I'm telling you, it's really hard to sing the octave up. Remember how I did, well, the first days are the hardest days, and that's really low for me, right? But if I start this off with the octave, well, the first days are the hardest days, then when I sing the really high notes, because of the high frequencies, if I don't shape them in a way that like opera singers and musical theater singers know how to do, because we never say first, we say like first, okay? Well, the first days are the hardest days. Why do we do that? Because it takes off the edge. If we sing first days, it's very shrill to the mic. First days are the hardest days. If I take out the vibrato, well, the first days are the hardest days. It just doesn't sound that good. It just doesn't. It was meant for the range it was written in. So it's much better that I sing, first days are the hardest days, da 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 da. I love that they have these like sus things written into this melody. When life looks like da ba 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 ba. Danger in your door. I saw that the first time those were unison. Think this through with me. But later on, when they did that line, I noticed on the recording, it had harmony. So on the barely time to wait. Barely time to wait. So I'll have to figure that out because it's not even written on here. Barely time to wait. Something like that. Barely time to wait. Whoa, what I want to know. Where does the time go? So anyway, that's just a little bit of a glimpse of the whole process that it's taken me for every single Dead song. And if this was interesting to you, I have a very particular playlist that I want to show you guys. So I have, in general, let's see, can I search for this? Yeah. Okay, let's just search for Grateful Dead and it will make a lot more sense. All right. Grateful Dead cover songs, sight reading new Grateful Dead cover songs. This is specifically the thing I just did, where I basically take a song from the book, I read it, and then afterwards I listen to it, and then I fix it, okay? So I have that in a lot of versions, okay? Then I have a playlist that is me transcribing the sheets for the performance. So that is another playlist, which you can find. Again, this is like just searching for every Grateful Dead video I've ever done. But again, under playlists, I think this is sight reading new Grateful Dead songs. I'm trying to find all the Grateful Dead stuff. I have a general Grateful Dead video reaction, so it's going to be on there. So this is like every song I've reacted to. This is also talking about like what it's been like to join the band and like how I learned everything. It's kind of a big overcap. This was like a recap of my first show in the park and kind of going over like the playlist and like some video clips from it. I have some stuff about like when I went to the first rehearsal. Okay, this is an example of like a vocal breakdown video. So this is where I listen to Donna singing her solo, then I practice it, and then I'm like working on the lyrics and figuring out how to make the sheet, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm practicing, I'm making my chord sheet, and that is a lot of what I'm doing. And then aside from that, I kind of just reacted to regular Grateful Dead music. So I went to the Dead and Company. I recapped what that experience was like. And by the way, now I've seen other Grateful Dead cover bands. Like I saw Joe Russo Almost Dead. I really liked that. I'm gonna hopefully publish a video where I talk about like what exactly I like about it, because they do some different interpretations than a normal tribute band would do, like in terms of how they like jazzify it or kind of like make it their own. And I really like how they do that, which is why I'm like, hey, when I do my own covers of the Dead, I want to take that same artistic license, because I think honestly, not that we're supposed to say what Jerry would have wanted, but honestly, like Hunter was a poet. Jerry's an amazing, he has the legacy of folk and bluegrass and then the blues and all that. And I think that genre of American music is all about passing on to the next generation. That's what folk music is, right? So certainly we should be continuing to play this amazing music. And like, I have this whole book. So I've been going through, and so a lot of these I've already learned in terms of just looking at my set list. These in here, let me just close this. These are the songs that I've learned for the previous shows I've done with One Man Gone, just to kind of glance at the list. But then there's a whole bunch more I need to learn that have been on their repertoire list that I have not performed yet. So I'm going to have to learn them. Like last time, they like put a song in there that I'd never heard before. Like the day of, they're like, oh, we're going to do Friend of the Devil. And I was like, okay. So that morning I like listened to it 3 times and then like made the sheet really quick. And then they still added something at the very last minute that I wasn't ready for. So you just never know, right? So hopefully we rehearse more. But anyway, this is just a little glimpse into like the work I've put in. And aside from the singing, I'm also trying to work on improving my keyboard playing. So I've actually made a social media post about trying to find keyboardists who play in Dead bands already. The other tool that was useful for me, let me just show you this. They made this Playing in the Band app free on the dead.net. And you can take an album. Sometimes this website is buggy, by the way, so I've had to restart this before. But other than having to restart it, for example, Franklin's Tower, I was able to turn up organ and Rhodes, turn down Jerry, Bobby, Phil, drums. I turned up vocals as well, turned up master, and then I played this, and I was able to hear the keys parts. Hear the organ. Here I could hear the Rhodes, and then I could hear the organ separately. So that's actually how I kind of learned what I should be playing, but this isn't available for every single song. So then I'm going through like recordings and trying to do it all on my own. So that's why I'm also looking for a really good Dead keyboardist who can kind of just give me, because I understand chords and scales, right? So if it's like, hey, just play pentatonic scales, or like, oh, we're in E major, just kind of jam on E major here. Or like, make sure you don't play fifths, but you play sevenths. Or like, make sure you never play the third or something. Like I need to know that. Like only play sus, don't play major or minor. Only play a sus chord, which is ambiguous, right? Or a 5. A5 is ambiguous. So those are the kind of things I'm trying to learn from this whole experience. But I am very serious about this. I think this music is very important. I think that it needs to live on. And even when the last member has passed away, we need to carry on the legacy. And I think that's the most important thing. And so me as a teacher of music, I want to know all this so I can teach it to my students. It's kind of like when I found out my students have never seen The Sound of Music. I'm like, you've never seen the musical Sound of Music? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh my God, like what am I even dealing with here, right? So I kind of understand that feeling of like the next generation, like not having something that's so amazing. So anyway, that's just how I feel. So anyway, this has been really interesting. As you can see, it's kind of a struggle to learn from sight reading, but I end up doing chord improvisation once I get to the actual performance because I don't read off sheet music. I'm not playing the music as written. That's a reduction. These piano books are just reducing a whole band, right? It's reducing 2 guitars, a bass, keys, drums, everything, and it's reducing it into just a piano, and then they have guitar chords on the top. But that's all these books are doing. It's just a piano, vocal, guitar, songbook. It reduces everything. So it's going to take out all the solos. It's going to take out a lot of the licks that are important. And so you just can't play that and like recreate the dead. You have to really study it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm definitely excited to learn this Uncle John's band. I'm going to have to play it like a lot now in my car when I'm driving around just to really get the harmonies. And that's kind of how I learned harmony. I just kind of pick it up. Like I can just hear them because I used to sing harmony with my mom all the time. When I was a kid, we'd sing rounds and then we'd sing harmonies. So I can harmonize everything, anything. I just have to know I have to know the melody first to harmonize, if that makes sense. So once I know the melody, I'll be able to harmonize, and even, I may not do it exactly as written in the book, but it will be in the correct chord. So, okay, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been a really fun series. Check out all my other videos. Please subscribe. And if you want to request a reaction, check out my page. On my homepage, I have this link of Linktree, and just click on request form, and you can fill out a form if there's a certain song you want me to react to or sight read or play or do a cover of. You can just fill out the form there. And I really appreciate all your support. And if you're in the Bay Area or California and you want to come, One Man Gone, our next show is going to be in Pacifica, just south of San Francisco on the coast, in a bar called Winter's Tavern. And it's going to be on a Monday. There's never anything on Mondays. So why not come? It's 6 p.m. on a Monday, Winter's Tavern in Pacifica, California. All right. I'll see you guys next time. This was fun, and bye.